Hi everybody, I'm Chrissy. I'm the early childhood editor for Shine, and this is the session 12 storytelling video. I can't believe we've made it to session 12 already. So you're going to need a couple of different props for the story. You're going to need the two felt backgrounds, which are the blue and the green semicircle, which are used in most of the stories. You'll need 6 of the people figures, which are, there's templates in the resource pack for those. You'll need 2 trees. I use the big, like the large and the medium sized trees. Those will work well. You'll also need some grain. So we used this last week for the story of Ruth. And there's a template for this grain that's in the back of the teacher's guide if you want it, or else you can just snip some yellow paper at about, 1 piece of construction paper wide. Just make a little, so this is your grain for the story. And then you'll also need a bunch of little circles, and they don't have to be circles, as I said in the previous video when we had these. They can be ovals, they can be whatever, but we need some that are going to be seeds for planting in the ground and some that are fruit for the trees. So I had some different colors, red and yellow, because that's the paper I happened to have. But you could use, white paper, you can use whatever. But just have a bunch of those that can go on trees as fruit and can just go on the green part as the plants. So those are your main things that you'll need, and you also need a pair of scissors to be able to snip that grain again. Here's your basic setup. So you have your green at the bottom semicircle and then your blue semicircle at the top to make the large circle. You're going to have your large tree and medium-sized tree off to one side and 2 people on the other side, and then your green that's going to be down at the bottom. And then you'll add the other pieces as they're talked about in the story. The other thing I forgot to mention is that you'll need a piece of brown construction paper. I just folded mine in half so that it fits the shape. This is going to be the booth for the story. So this is the story of the Festival of Booths, where God is instructing the people about building a booth to sleep in for 7 days. This was their way of remembering the life of the Israelites as they had left slavery and were wandering in the desert. So I'm going to go ahead and tell the story, and you're going to use the little tiny pieces, circles. Some of them will be kind of planted, so to speak, along here, and then the fruit will get added onto these trees. Long ago, God spoke to Moses, and Moses told the people God's message. Moses said, "You planted grain and vegetables in the ground. Now the food has grown and is ready to be gathered. The trees are full of fruit. God has blessed you, and now it's time to celebrate. Don't just spend 1 hour or 1 day thanking God. Praise God for 7 days. Make a booth to sleep in for those 7 days. Gather fruit and branches from the trees. Gather the vegetables from the ground. Cut the grain. And gather it in. Build a fire and give God your offerings of fruits and vegetables, animals and grain. Be happy before God. Sing, laugh, dance, and wave the branches. Eat, drink, and rest from your work. Remember the good things God has done. This celebration is for all people. It's for friends and family, for strangers and people who are lonely. It is for men and women, girls and boys, young and old. God has blessed you, and now it's time to celebrate. So that was a session 12 story. For next time, for session 13, you're going to be using nearly all of the storytelling props from the resource pack. So if in case they've kind of gotten scattered throughout the quarter, you can try to round those up, find all those props, because the next story sort of brings it all together. It brings all those images from the creation story at the very beginning of the quarter and is going to bring them back. So try to locate all those things that may have, wandered off during the quarter. See you then.